Welcome back to Peacock TV. Spoilers. We have a lot to unpack regarding the May 29th cliffhangers, so let's get right into the heavy drama. Friday, May 29, officially marks the agonizing one-year anniversary of John Black passing away. Peacock TV. Spoilers. We've been tracking this storyline for weeks, and the emotional weight of this milestone is going to absolutely crush us. Marlena Evans is forced to face the terrifying reality of life without John Black. I personally believe that Deidre Hall is going to deliver a guaranteed Emmy-worthy performance here. When we look back at the legendary legacy of Marlena Evans and John Black, we are talking about an epic love story that survived Stefano DiMera, demonic possessions, and endless kidnappings. Do you remember back in the day when John Black was just the mysterious pawn? Or when Marlena Evans and John Black fought off Orpheus 5 to 10 years ago? John Black was the ultimate protector of Salem. When we think about the sheer trauma Marlena Evans has endured, from being held in a golden cage by Stefano DiMera to the infamous Salem stalker storyline, John Black was always the one to bring Marlena Evans back to the light. The psychological toll of facing this anniversary without John Black is going to push Marlena Evans to her absolute breaking point. Marlena Evans has spent decades counseling the broken citizens of Salem, but who is going to counsel Marlena Evans? Now, Marlena Evans is navigating the quiet, empty halls of the penthouse, surrounded by supportive family, but entirely alone in her profound grief. Marlena Evans remembers John Black in vivid, heartbreaking flashbacks. And I am telling you, seeing Drake Hogestyn on our screens again in these memories is going to break our hearts all over again. Marlena Evans is the emotional anchor of Salem. But right now, Marlena Evans desperately needs an anchor of her own to survive this dark day. But here's the kicker. While Marlena Evans is deeply mourning, Brady Black and Belle Brady are stepping up to care for their widowed mother. Brady Black and Belle Brady are dealing with their own profound grief over losing John Black. Brady Black has always relied on John Black to pull Brady Black out of the darkness, especially during Brady Black's toxic battles with Kristen DiMera. And Belle Brady has always viewed John Black as the ultimate hero. But nothing could prepare Brady Black and Belle Brady for the shocking discovery Brady Black and Belle Brady make while sorting through John Black's personal belongings. Amazing. What could this discovery possibly be? If you ask me, this is a huge mistake if the writers make this a boring financial document or a simple will. I personally believe Brady Black and Belle Brady are going to uncover a massive ISA secret that John Black hid to protect Marlena Evans. Think about the history. John Black always had dangerous contingencies. What if John Black left a warning about Cat Green? Or maybe John Black discovered a hidden truth about Victor Kiriakis before John Black died? Brady Black has a history of relapsing when the emotional pressure gets too high, and Belle Brady is already stretched thin trying to manage the legal chaos of the Brady family. If this discovery is tied to Stefano DiMera's old network or Victor Kiriakis' ruthless corporate espionage, Brady Black and Belle Brady are walking into a deadly trap. John Black spent his final years trying to scrub his ISA record clean, so if Brady Black and Belle Brady dig up a ghost from John Black's past, it could threaten the entire Brady family. Predictive lore time. I heavily theorize that Brady Black and Belle Brady will find a secret vault key that leads to a brand new summer mystery, pulling Brady Black and Belle Brady into a deadly conspiracy that John Black tried to bury forever Let's shift gears to another heartbreaking loss, but with a highly controversial twist. Julie Williams is being forced to contemplate life after losing Doug Williams. We all know Doug Williams was the absolute love of Julie Williams' life. Bill Hayes left an irreplaceable void in Salem, and Julie Williams has been struggling to maintain the Horton family legacy without Doug Williams by her side. Julie Williams is the grand matriarch of Salem. Julie Williams holds the history of Alice Horton and Tom Horton in her hands. Doug Williams was her rock, her singing partner, and her greatest champion. But, and you won't believe what happens next, Julie Williams is actually getting a dinner invitation from a new man. Foster is boldly asking Julie Williams out on a date. Can you believe it? Foster claims this dinner is just to discuss bookstore business. But let's be real for a second. Foster is totally making a romantic move on Julie Williams. Here is my hot take. I absolutely hate this idea right now. It is way too soon for Julie Williams to be moving on from Doug Williams. The idea of Foster trying to romance Julie Williams over a plate of pasta is honestly insulting to the legacy of Doug Williams. I passionately defend Julie Williams' right to find happiness eventually, because Julie Williams has suffered so much, but I ruthlessly criticize Foster for swooping in like an opportunistic vulture. Foster seems charming on the surface, but I personally believe Foster has a sinister ulterior motive. Remember when Demos Kyriakis, or even Clyde Weston, tried to manipulate the vulnerable women of Salem years ago? Foster might be targeting Julie Williams to get his hands on the Horton family assets, or maybe Foster is secretly working for a rival crime family. Julie Williams needs to be extremely careful, because Foster is giving me major red flags, and I do not trust Foster one bit. Now, let's talk about the absolute worst behavior in Salem this week. I am talking about Holly Jonas. That's crazy. Holly Jonas is completely out of control. While the Choi family is desperately searching the river for Sophia Choi's body, Holly Jonas is throwing a massive, selfish pity party for Holly Jonas. Holly Jonas actually sent Tate Black to attend the memorial for Sophia Choi all by himself. Tate Black had to stand there, completely unsupported, and offer condolences to a furious Amy Choi and a grieving Jason Choi, while Holly Jonas sat safely in the Horton Town Square complaining to Julie Williams. Holly Jonas was actually whining to Julie Williams that Holly Jonas is also a victim and that Holly Jonas is not getting enough attention. Are you kidding me? Holly Jonas is making the tragic, presumed death of Sophia Choi entirely about Holly Jonas. This reminds me exactly of what Nicole Walker used to do back in the day. Remember 5 to 10 years ago when Nicole Walker would ruin everyone's lives, lie to Eric Brady, and then cry that Nicole Walker was the real victim? Holly Jonas has inherited the absolute worst narcissistic traits of Nicole Walker, and it is infuriating to watch. Tate Black is acting like a true hero, stepping up to face Amy Choi's wrath, but Holly Jonas is acting like an absolute coward. Holly Jonas is terrified that the town of Salem will realize Holly Jonas is the real villain of this cyberbullying story. And it gets even worse. After complaining to Julie Williams, Holly Jonas then tracks down Sarah Horton. Holly Jonas literally corners Sarah Horton to demand constant reassurance that Holly Jonas is still the center of the story. Holly Jonas tells Sarah Horton that Holly Jonas feels terrible about Sophia Choi, but Holly Jonas is secretly just furious that the spotlight moved away from Holly Jonas. I passionately hate how Holly Jonas is acting right now. I ruthlessly criticize Holly Jonas for being so deeply selfish and manipulative. Sarah Horton is already dealing with a massive medical crisis with Chanel Dupree de Mera and living in a highly toxic war zone with Xander Kyriakis. Sarah Horton does not have the time or the patience to coddle the inflated ego of Holly Jonas. If I were Sarah Horton, I would look Holly Jonas right in the eye and tell Holly Jonas to grow up and take accountability. Sarah Horton needs to stop coddling Holly Jonas and deliver some harsh medical truths about survivors' guilt and narcissism. But unfortunately, Sarah Horton might just enable Holly Jonas because Sarah Horton feels bad for the teenager. I personally believe that Amy Choi is entirely justified in raging against Holly Jonas. Holly Jonas needs a massive reality check before Holly Jonas destroys Tate Black's life too. Tate Black is fiercely loyal, but even Tate Black has to see how incredibly toxic Holly Jonas is becoming. This week is going to be an intense, emotional roller coaster of profound grief, shocking secrets, and infuriating teenage drama. What do you think Brady Black and Belle Brady actually found in John Black's belongings? Is it a dangerous ISA file, a secret will, or a map to a hidden de Mera vault? And do you agree with me that Holly Jonas is acting like a complete narcissist, or do you feel bad for Holly Jonas? Drop your hottest theories in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button, ring the notification bell, and subscribe to Peacock TV Spoilers for all your daily Salem updates.